back for another episode of Rockin' Birthdays for August 23rd through the 29th. I'm Jammin' Jeff. Let's get started. Alright, for August 23rd, 1936, we have Rudy Lewis of the Drifters. And 1946, we have Keith Moon of The Who. 1951, we have Jimmy Jamison of Survivor. 1953, we have Bobby Gubby of Bucks Fizz. 1961, we have Dean DeLeo of the Stone Temple Pilots. Okay, and for August 24th, 1929, we have Willie Winfield of the Harpoons. I'm sorry, that's the Harptones. 1938, we have David Freeberg of Quicksilver Messenger. 1941, we have Ernest Wright Jr. of the Imperials. 1942, we have Joe Chambers of the Chambers Brothers. 1943, we have John Capolina of Quicksilver Messenger Service. 1945, we have Ken Hensley of Blackfoot and Uriah Heep. 1945, we have Malcolm Molly Duncan of the Average White Band. 1951, we have Jimmy Farrar of Molly Hatchet. 1961, we have Mark Bedders Bedford of Madness. And in 1968, we have Andreas Kisser of Sepultura. All right, for August 25th, 1942, we have Walter Williams of the OJs. 1949, we have Gene Simmons of Kiss. 1950, we have Willie DeVille of Mink DeVille. 1951, we have Rob Halford of Judas Priest. 1952, we have Jeff Downs of the Buggles, Yes, and Asia. 1954, we have Elvis Costello. 1954, we have Martin Gerard of the Motels. 1956, we have Matt Aitken of Stock Aitken and Waterman. 1962, we have Maisie Roud of Femme Fatale. I always get that name screwed up. 1962, we have Vivian Campbell of Dio, Whitesnake, and I believe currently he is with Def Leppard. 1965, we have Mia Zapata of the Gits. Now moving on to August 26th, 1938, we have Jet Black of the Stranglers. 1941, we have Chris Curtis of the Searchers and Deep Purple. In 1952, we have Billy Rush of the Asbury Jukes. 1954, we have Michael Chetwood. Also in 1954, we have Wally Murphy. 1960, we have Nancy Martinez. And in 1961, we have Jimmy Olander of Diamond Rio. All right, moving on to August 27th. 1937, we have Phil Schuleman of Gentle Giant. 1942, we have Daryl Dragon of the Captain and Tennille. 1944, we have Tim Bogert of Vanilla Fudge. 1953, we have Alex Lifeson of Rush. 1956, Glenn Matlock of the Sex Pistols. Now moving on to August 28th. 1939, we have Clem Gattini of the Tornadoes. In 1939, we have Edward Patton of Gladys Knight and the Pits. The Pips, not the Pits. In 1940, we have Nick Turner of Hawkwind. 1943, we have Anne Honey Lantry. And then in 1948, we have Daniel Serafine of Chicago. 1949, we have Hugh Corwell of the Strangers, or the Stranglers. Okay. 1951, we have Dave Hulbeck of Molly Hatchet. And in 1951, we have Wayne Osmond of the Osmond Brothers. Alright, moving on to August 29th. 1942, we have Sterling Morrison of the Velvet Underground. And in 1943, we have Richard Halligan of Blood, Sweat, and Tears. 1945, we have Chris Copping of Procol Harum. 1953, we have Rick Downey of Blue Oyster Cult. 1954, we have Chet Cataldo of Spyro Gyra. And also in 1954, we have Julio Fernandez, also of Spyro Gyra. 1956, we have Gigi Allen of the Murder Junkies. 1957, we have Pim Copps of Dyke Blowden Hart. Or, let me rephrase that. That's Dyke and Blowden Hart. Okay. And in 1958, we have Michael Jackson. 1959, we have Eddie Redder of the Fairground Attraction. 1961, we have Tony McAlpine. 1963, we have Greg Steele of Faster Pussycat. And last but not least, 1966, we have Dan Truman of Diamond Rio. Well, that was this week's episode of Rockin' Birthdays. Join us next week, and until then, keep rockin'.